Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Good. Okay, so some of you have met me, some of you are yet to meet me. Okay, my name is Dr. Vijayalaxmi KS, and you can call me Vijay or whatever makes you feel comfortable. I would prefer Vijay because that's what I identify myself with. Okay, so I'm a Akashic record reader. Though professionally, I am doctor, practitioner of electrohomeopathy, alternative medical therapy. I'm an ICF coach, trainer, counselor, and do a lot of social service in terms of, life coaching. So that's my mainstream. But Akashic record reading is my passion because it's been a gift to me from the time I was a child. And all my life, I could always identify with this ability of mine to foresee things or sense things, feel things, see things before it happens. And, for a very long time in my life, I always thought that it is a curse, to see things before it happens, or only the not so good things happening. And then you're like always running away from the thoughts and instincts or images that's happening. But it took some time for me to understand it's a blessing. So I'm using this blessing to try and see how I can help other people. So I don't know how many of you all know all about Akashic records. Akashic record is basically a sum total of us, of where we come from the time we were that invisible particle to this day, right now, sitting in front of all of you, whatever I am or you are or everything in this entire universe is. So for everything, there is a record. So you can imagine how massive it is. It's as massive as Earth. That's why it's called Akasha, because it's the sky. When you look up, do you know where it starts, where it ends? You really don't know. So that's how massive this library is. It's a vibrational library. It's not that you can physically see it. And so we have all our information, everything from the number of breaths we have taken, or, in which dimension, what did we do, who were we associated with, who was in our life, who was not in our life, or who left our life, or even this tiniest of the emotions that we go through or the thought process that we go through, everything is captured. It's like a macro program running for a program writer. The guy who writes program, he doesn't know what he's writing. He goes on, but there is a macro running behind, which is capturing every stroke of his. So in the same way, our Akashic library is a record of everything that's getting recorded every nanosecond. So this record has all the events of our life till date, and it also has a prediction on how the future is going to be based on our today's actions, thoughts, and words, which we call karma. Though we say karma, and if you have to get into karma, that's a huge topic to speak about. But based on our thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything is getting recorded. Even what we think, what we speak, what we, if my teacher tells me, you do a homework and come, and I go home and I don't do a homework, but then I'm going to tell the teacher an excuse for not doing it. The teacher doesn't know that you gave an excuse to the teacher. She might think it's a very genuine one, but your Akashic space is capturing that you just lied about this, or, you found a excuse to give, which was not true. So in that same sense, like everything in our life gets recorded, and it is all projected back to us, okay, into our current lifetimes. Only thing is, we just don't really know from where or how all these events in our life, or people in our life, or situations, and everything that you go through, even when you get out onto the road and something just happens to you, you might think like, oh, this happened to me. I wish I had gone 5 minutes early, 5 minutes late. No, but it's all destined to happen. It will happen, and it will only capture, what was that you were thinking at that point in time, or how did you handle it? What was your level of understanding of that event in your life? So that is karma, how you react to each and every one of. So that is what is getting captured. So now, if so many of them have asked me a lot of questions on the Telegram, like, ma'am, my financial problem, but I really don't understand how I can just say, tell me this person's financial problem. I cannot access a record like that. I need to first understand, why did you get into financial problem? What caused you a financial downfall, or what caused a relationship problem in your life? Unless you connect with me, give me a picture to understand, that is when I really get into an insight into each of your life to tell you what is your solution. You just post me a question, just give me an answer for this, it doesn't work. Whereas when some person have asked me, I'm very scared of an insect, what happened? It was very, very specific. So it was very easy for me to pick up even without accessing their records. So in the same format, now a lot of people also have asked me questions like, what are the questions that I can ask? You can ask anything from your fears to phobias to relationship, or you can say like, I have a good relationship with my mother-in-law or mother, but these aspects in between our relationship is not working well. So I really need to understand. If someone says, please tell me about my relationship with my mother-in-law, what am I supposed to talk to you about your mother-in-law? I don't know. Because see, it's not that I have your entire Akashic record book with me that I can easily open and I can tell you, no, your record book is yours. You are the owner of it. Because you don't know how to open it, you're asking me to open it. But unless you give me specific permission and specific detailing that you want to know, I will not be able to get it. I don't have permission, because your soul will not allow me to, go in there and pick up anything. It's like you're giving me a key to the house. He says, okay, go into the house and just check where I have kept this and come. No, I'll not be able to go. If you tell me, I'll give you the key on the hall in this place, I've kept this. Can you please go check it? So that is when I can go, because the whole house is your soul space. It's like very, very protected by your soul. So if you just randomly give a question like that, it doesn't work. You'll have to connect with me where I will feel that, I can go in there. Your soul is comfortable to let me into that space to read it for you. So I know some of you might have been a little disappointed that some of your questions didn't get answered. That is because I don't have permission to go into the space. It was not specific. You have just randomly asked a question. It wasn't, there is something called very specific ethical values that you need to follow into the space. So there are quite a few questions. I really didn't get any reading. Of course, I made an effort to tell your name, your date of birth, and ask your question. Nothing came up because I'm still shut out. I'm still standing outside. I'm not allowed to go inside. So unless you really are looking for an answer, you will really have to connect with me personally. You'll have to book a session, connect with me personally, talk to me. I have to, between us, we have to have a dialogue to understand what exactly or how exactly or what specifically should I go and look for. Only then I'll be able to give you a reading. I just cannot randomly walk into your soul space and bring back information because I know a lot of people. I myself was in that space where, I was very frustrated. I wanted answers. I used to wonder, can't I just get help? But believe me, Akashic's reading is a blessing, is a really, really big blessing for everyone. I feel like everybody, I'm not trying to market myself right here. Even please go ahead and tell people, whomever you meet, to just go take one reading. Everybody should get a reading just to understand where are we coming from? What are the baggages that we are carrying from our past life, karmic baggages that we are carrying, so that we can find, I will get like one torchlight saying, okay, this is the right direction to go. So everybody should take an Akashic reading. I know, of course, someone had asked about PLR, past life regression. Yes, past life regression is done with the help of an hypnotherapist, where you yourself go into that space. But again, like I told yesterday in the session, your soul will protect you to the extent of your mental strength. if you are not able to see some part of your records, your soul will not show. Because I know some of the clients who take a reading from me, when I tell them this is what I have done, you won't believe, for weeks together, they don't even come back for remedy, because they're still, getting into that acceptance mode. Oh my God, did I do this? Did I do that? So your soul knows your ability to, process. So only to that extent your soul will get you to see. So PLR can be very effective, but you might not necessarily get your answers there, because I did 5 to 7 sessions and with the same question, but I got to see everything else except my question's answer. That came much later when I became an Akashic record reader, because by then I had built my mental strength, to see whatever comes there, I'm okay, I can process it and I can do my remedies. So that is when I got to see a lot of things which otherwise I didn't get to see. So, so coming, next step to that is, instead of getting one reading from me, you can gift yourself with the, Akashic record reading attunement as a student. For example, you are very, very connected to your soul. Your soul is always in connection with you. I mean, from the time, like I said, you were invisible to now, to wherever you are traveling, your soul journey, you are in connection with your soul, and your soul is ever ready to give you an answer. But we have blocked that path with walls, of our own judgments, fears, and phobias, and limitations, limiting beliefs, or the value system or the belief system that was built into us, which is stopping us from doing certain things. So what happens is, we have created a roadblock to our soul journey. We have kind of limited to our physical existence, survival. So what's happening is, we are so focused on, whether I have money today or no. The people who have money, who are like thinking more about money, or, they're thinking about materialistic thing, or they're, fighting for their egoistical issue, something or the other that they're fighting, which is, gratifying, wanting to gratify at a physical level, but nothing to do with the soul journey. So if you connect with your soul journey, what happens? You don't need an Akashic record reader to read your, questions, or, read your record book to come back to you. So I would actually suggest, it would be a great idea, like, people who have slight, even a little bit of spiritual inclination of asking. I know I had a lot of people who are asking, what is my soul purpose? They're all the right people to actually take up a session, because the minute you are looking for your soul purpose, which means you're trying to connect with your soul, right? And to identify, then you have somewhere that feeling has come, that, whatever I'm doing, like my job or things like that, there is something beyond that. And I need to connect with whatever is beyond this. So those are the people who are asking for the soul purpose, because the physical purpose is very different. This conscious mind's physical purpose is all about, having a good job, good salary, big house, making all of that. But only those are the people, apart from the survival necessities, who's looking for a soul purpose, who need to get connected to their soul energy, can actually go ahead and learn it. You know why? Because then you really don't need for an external person to tell you that you're doing the right thing, or, this is the way you're. All you have to do is just get into your own self and start asking, am I doing the right thing? Or what should I be doing? Or I have a challenge like this. What should I be doing to, break this? Because a lot of people, all of you, I mean, a few of them who have asked their, current life issues, and they've also asked their soul purpose, 2 questions together. If they learn this art, okay, of course, they'll need a little bit of guidance. And for example, a person, who's very spiritually, for a person like me, who had an intuitive energy, though I had all the right, intuitive messages or directions I would get, a lot of times I would take it, but there are a lot of times I would still like to go and ask somebody, how do I do this? So when that person says, Vijay, okay, you can do this like this, it feels good. Then I also have a soul connect with that person, because I'm connecting to my soul to connect me to a person who is going to give me the right direction. Okay, so unless I am ready to connect to my soul, instead of asking 10 different people, what's my soul purpose, learn how to connect with your own soul and ask your questions and see how magically you will be getting your answers. You will have so many indications around you. Somebody on FM will say exactly the answer that you wanted to hear, or a song will play which will just tell you the answer to the question that you just asked. So that is how you will start connecting with your soul, where your soul will find 10 or 100 different ways of telling you what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? I hope all of you getting. I hope I'm not too fast for you to catch what I'm saying, but that is what happens when you learn this art. Because this is not an art. This is like, by default given to all of us. How does a dog know or a cat know that at this time I should not go here, or I shouldn't do this, or a bird knows, when I hear an eagle, I have to fly from here. Nobody teaches it. Those are all the imprints that is there in their soul, and they bank on those instincts to take care of themselves, or learn a survival skill, or become more powerful than whatever is standing in front of it, like a giant to kill. So all these indications come to you through the soul. So to connect to the soul, you need someone to just break open that gate or the wall for you. So Akashic reading will be the best thing to do. Just go ahead, just learn it, just connect with your soul, ask all your questions. You might initially have some difficulties in accessing your record, but with time, with practice, with someone's guidance, mentoring, you can become an awesome record reader for yourself. And of course, you want to teach somebody. If that is your sole purpose, you will find some spiritual services as your core strength, and you will start searching. You will start teaching. And when you start teaching, you need to stay connected with your soul to, excel in it. At that time, every time you want the next question to your soul's, what do you say? Exploration. Every time you don't need to go and look for somebody to give you your soul purpose. So that's my message to all of you. And a lot of people have asked a lot of questions on what are the questions to ask. You can ask anything. I've asked as simple as, I keep dropping things, anything I pick up, I drop it once and then only and pick it up. So I was like so curious once I became Akashic reader. I asked, why do I keep dropping things like this? They're always breaking, they're dropping. And one day I said, okay, I want to know why I'm just dropping things all over the house, kitchen and things like that. And I saw one of these lifetimes where I was a loner. I didn't have parents. I didn't have anybody. And I was a fruit seller. So I would carry this fruits in a basket on my head. And I was so lonely. I had to find a way to get attention. You know what I would do? I would just walk by and knock people with my hand or, with my leg. And I used to keep making people drop things, fall. They would be falling down, dropping things, breaking things. I would do this to everybody, and they all used to yell at me for, disturbing them with this nuisanceable act. You won't believe it. It was so hilarious watching me do that in that lifetime. After I came back, my dropping of things suddenly stopped, to almost 60%. Now I drop things when it actually had to drop. I'm not dropping things every now and then, That is the change I felt. I felt like, oh, how could I have done it? Must have been very disturbing for them, So I said, I'm really sorry to all those souls that in that lifetime that, I irritated or bugged or got you angry. After that, honestly, like a magic, from the very next day, 2 out of 10 things probably fall, but 8 things don't fall anymore. So it's as simple as that. You can start asking silly questions. Now tell me if you have to go to an Akashic reader saying, I want to know, why do I keep breaking things? So that is where learning it makes a big thing. Another thing, okay, so all of you can choose whatever you want. You can get a reading done. I'm just giving you a clarity how every event in your life is connected and how you are connected with your soul space. So you can always choose to become your own mentor for your everyday, life, struggles or challenges. Another thing is, like, you go into that space, you need to be always aware of you're going into that space, you're asking questions, and you come back, with a vision or a message or anything like that. please be very, very sincere about how you do your remedies for it. It might just be like I just did said sorry to that lifetime and all the people, and it just worked. In the same way, when you come back, like even if I'm reading it for you or you're reading it for yourself, I'm sorry. If you're reading it for your own self, there will be some images, some messages that is coming. Please come back and do your remedy with 100% dedication. Please don't ever think like, it can't be me. Oh, it feels so silly that I don't find it necessary to say my, forgiveness prayers. So because yesterday I wanted to say this, I couldn't say it. So I'm just saying it again today. There was this mother who came to me for a reading. And she said, I'm having a big problem with my daughter. And she's an adolescent. She's almost 19 years old. And she doesn't listen to me. She's very, very disobedient. And she's having a lot of adolescence issue. And, she's like going away without telling us for the day. And she didn't want to live with her parents. She would just hate being with their parents. The parents tried so hard, even when she was 2 years old, 4 years old, she never wanted to stay with her parents. So she wanted to stay with her grandmother. So she came back crying. She's already 19 right now. It's like going over my head. And I'm so stressed about her. I don't know what to do. She completely is disobedient, angry, frustrated with both me and my husband. So I accessed the record and I told, in multiple lifetimes, I accessed the mother's record. Not all the details came except one lifetime. Then I said, we'll have to access your daughter's record. So I accessed the daughter's record, but it didn't still show me why she was angry with the father. So she said, no, you please access my husband's record also. So all of them gave permission to access their record. So I accessed father's record. So in that, all the three people, I got to see about 6 different lifetimes. And all of it was connected in terms of abandoning the child, or there was a prostitution racket where she was sold to, little traumatic things was there in those records. When I came back and I told them, this is what has come, and you guys need to do, mother and father need to do a lot of forgiveness prayer to the daughter, because till that day they were thinking it's the daughter who is the problem. From that day onwards, they realized, no, this is, karmic, thing that has come back where we need to learn a lesson. So the mother, then I gave remedy for all the 3 of them. The daughter also actually was so willing to do the remedy for herself so that, she can build a relationship. And you won't believe, in 5 days, on the 6th day, she called and she cried. And I was a little worried. Oh my God, what happened? Then she said, I don't know, some magic happened. Suddenly my daughter has changed. And I realized that, she's talking to me. She's smiling at me. She's responding to whatever I'm talking to her. And, there was such a huge shift in the way the daughter was behaving. And to add to it, that, the mother was saying that she started sitting with her books to study, which was very good. She couldn't believe it. But she said, you know what, she was always a little scared of the father, but right now I can see she's showing a lot of aggression to the father. But to me, whom she always showed aggression, she's become very calm. And that's when I asked, okay, is your husband doing the remedy also of saying, his forgiveness prayer to the daughter? So she said, no, he said, it's all too much for me to do. I cannot do all this every day. This is not possible. So it might be for me to hear or me to understand that he's not able to do, but that girl's soul understands that the father is not ready to say forgiveness prayer. So immediately there was a shift. So nothing was said to the daughter about the reading, no details was given, or this is the remedy, nothing was given. But there was an immediate shift in the daughter's behavior towards the father and towards the mother. With mother, whom she always rebelled, the relationship soothed up, it became very amicable and nice. But with father, suddenly there was an expression of anger that started showing up. So I'm saying, this is a space which is true to you. Your soul knows, or the souls connected to you knows how you feel and think about whatever is shown to you. So the kind of sincerity that you show to it is what reflects in your life further. So that is how pure and clean it is. You can't manipulate that. You can manipulate a human being, or anybody, or you can tell things to convince anyone, but I'm just giving you these two, my record reading experience, so that you will understand it's a very beautiful space. You can go in there and change whatever you want. And I'm saying, getting a reading done is the most beautiful thing. But if any of you are spiritually inclined, please learn it, because that's the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Yeah. So I think that's what I would like to leave you all with. So think about it. If you feel you have, some of you have even asked questions about, I have a fear connecting. I'm able to connect with some energies, but I don't know what to do with it. Believe me, those are all indications for you that it's time for you to break some of your mental blocks. You have to work on yourself to break those walls to get your true purpose of life. So just go ahead. I mean, go ahead, learn it, do yourself a big favor on a day-to-day basis, and start this beautiful journey that we all, at least we light workers, healers, we're all just enjoying this journey. That connect is so beautiful, and all of us are capable of getting that connection. So just go ahead and get yourself connected.
Dr. Vijay, that was so amazing. It's mesmerizing to just listen to your stories and this beautiful art, So thank you so much, Dr. Vijay. Can we do a few readings and
yes,
let people know about?
Yeah, why not? And please be very specific and just give me the right details. Please don't just randomly ask a question, because that might not help you. And don't ask me, see, whatever reading I'm going to do is it'll just come when you're talking to me, when you're connecting with me. But if you really want an in-depth reading, that needs a lot of time. It needs about 30-40 minutes for me to sit and connect and get you all the answers. So don't feel disappointed, like, doctor didn't give me all the answers. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so just ask me something that can easily gratify your curiosity right now.
Doctor, this is really wonderful about you. Even on yesterday's call and even now, you also help us with our questions. So thank you for that. So let's start with Dipti.
Yeah.
Dipti has actually two questions, but everyone, we'll just like to tell you that let's take one question at a time. And please remember that this call is being broadcasted on YouTube and we share it on social media.
Yes.
So please be mindful before sharing your personal details. And Dr. Vijay has planned something really beautiful for all of us, because we got a lot of soul journey related questions.
Yeah.
So she's planned a really beautiful exercise for all of us. So for now, let's start with Dipti.
Yeah, please, like Shilpa said, please be very mindful, because this live streamed, and personal questions sometimes can bring details which you don't want people to hear. So just be very, very mindful of what you're asking, because once I get a vision, I'm not going to hold the information to myself. I have no choice but give it to you, because that's your information. So I will not, you shouldn't think like, why did she say it on the camera? Because if it comes, I'm just going to give it. So you be careful of what you're asking.
Thank you, doctor, for the heads up. So Dipti had asked that, she has learned a few modalities, but she's not able to practice it.
Okay.
And she's unwell. She keeps getting unwell since the past 10-15 years. Okay. And she's not able to practice her modality. So she is wondering if it is her laziness or something else. So I'll just ask her to unmute herself and let us know if there is anything more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Deepti. Tell me.
Hi, Dr. Vijay.
Yeah, you can call me Vijay. Yeah, your voice is breaking a little, so just hold.
Now?
Yeah, tell me.
I said I feel connected, so automatically it just comes, Dr.
Okay, no problem. Tell me.
So yesterday also in the on the Telegram session, I've asked like about my soul purpose and this thing, because I have a lot of inclination towards the spiritual side, and I feel bad about people who are poor, even for animals, and so I've done Reiki few years back, but since
Okay.
so I'm not able to practice.
Okay.
It's like a do and die situation where I know, okay, I can
Yeah.
use ability to safeguard me or blah 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 situations happening around.
Okay.
But since past 15-20 years, it's
Yeah.
a pattern in my life that I'm unwell for
Okay.
no reason. There's nothing major illness or nothing. It's just my vitamins levels or some of the other things, regular things which are down. And
Okay.
I have severe lower back for L5 spondylitis.
Mm.
And I'm very I'm good. I'm well off thanks to my husband and my in-laws family and all this thing. But as I'm not earning anything of my own,
Okay.
and happily, very nice in a good terms, but nothing of my own. I feel useless. There's no purpose in my life.
Okay.
I feel I'm here if I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm not able to understand why I'm here if I'm not doing anything. Every person
Okay.
has something which I'm.
Okay. Do you like water bodies, or do you have a fear for water bodies?
Yes.
You have a fear for water bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have when you have sicknesses? Do you have nausea?
Yeah. Earlier it used to be.
Okay. So because I'm seeing you, I can see one of your lifetimes where this was not now. This could probably be 200, 300 years back, where I can see a ship, and you were on the ship. Ship is not a very big one, but you have a lot of workers on that ship, and you were very ruthless with them because you wanted them to work hard, no matter whether it was rain or sun or whatever. So there was a lot of trauma that was inflicted by you in terms of physical pain to these people. Okay, so that's that image that is coming up, and you've hurt them for not working or laziness, or because there were people who were lazy, and they want to rest because the ship is going on moving and all the stuff, but you were very ruthless with them. So you said, I need you to work, no laziness, and things like that. So this is what you did. So this is what has come back. That's why you have probably here for water, nausea. All this is connected to that lifetime. Okay. And that's why you have health issues this time. But also the fact that you were on the water, there was a lot of time, a lot of speculation. So somewhere you're connected to your that that question of what is this world, why is it like this, a lot of time to introspect. So that is still there within you. So you can actually pursue, you can definitely can take up one of the occult sciences and follow it. And you need to work on yourself, unless it's like that laziness is showing here. So you need to find a way of kicking yourself up and getting to work, and then you will find your way out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was great, Vijay.
Yes.
Let's move on. Oh, sorry. Let's move on to our next participant. We have Shalini today. And Shalini, Vijay is asking, I want to know, why do I have a financial problem? So Shalini, we have requested you to start your video, unmute yourself, and please join us.
Yeah, hello, I'm Shalini.
Hi,
I'm going
Shalini.
out. Sorry?
I don't see you.
1 second.
Yes, Shalini, I
Yeah,
can see you.
yeah, I'm sorry because I'm moving out. But yeah, I can speak to you.
Yeah.
I want to know why I have the financial issues.
What is the issues right now? Financial is a big thing. I can connect to 10 different things.
A lot, because I don't get a proper job and I have quit my job.
Okay.
I'm working as a life advisor, but still that is not continuing very
You are working as
nicely.
a? You are working as a?
Life advisor.
Okay, life coach. Yeah. Okay.
No, not life coach, life advisor.
Life advisor. Okay.
Yeah. That is also not going proper.
Okay.
And I want to know why, what is wrong? Why is this happening?
Can I have your date of birth, Shalini?
1/12/66.
1/12/66. Shalini, what's your second name? I mean, your
Shalini.
maiden name? Maiden name.
Sorry?
Maiden name.
It is Shalini Kurtukoti.
Kurtukoti. Shalini Kurtukoti, 1/12/66. Why is she having financial trouble? Is this karmic related? Yes, it is karmic related. What is it? That is... Okay, in one of your lifetimes, I can see that you were a person who was lending money to people. Okay. And you would lend money, take things for, mortgage and all those stuff. So I can see you in a very small village where people were not all that great. But then, you had money and you used to lend money, but you would, take things from them as exchange for money. But even when they are ready to give you, I mean, it's so filmy because I see a lot of these images that's coming. But yes, they would come and beg you for their things back. And if they're ready to give you the money also, you wouldn't take the money actually. You would rather keep whatever they have mortgaged with you and you would send them back. So these people have walked around behind you, crying, begging, to give them what belongs to them. But for some reason, you never returned it back to them. You had that power of holding it back. So that is one of the image that is coming up. So yeah, what should... Yeah, you should do forgiveness prayers. See, there could be a lot, there could be other records also that can be attached to this financial issues of yours. I'm just trying to see if it's coming up. Nothing is coming up. So this is what has come up as of now, but there could be other records also that can be attached to, your current life financial issues. So for this, you will have to do your forgiveness prayer, of course, and do and some other remedies for financial blockages to be removed. So if there is any way, I don't know if you've taken up a package to get a much in-depth reading. Close the record.
Vijay, thank you so much for that. We have lost Shalini. But,
yeah, I think so. But I hope she'll get it.
Yeah, we'll let her know to ask. We'll ask her to check the call replay. You shared some really important advice.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Thank you. We have Sujata with us today, Doctor, today.
Yeah.
And she always has pain in her sacral chakra and organs around that area. And she has tried a lot of things for that. So she'd like to know, why is it happening and what she can do. So Sujata, we've asked you to unmute yourself. And if you could come on video, please.
Hello, Dr. Vijay.
Hello, Sujata. Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. There's my question. I always, I regularly started going for annual health checkups since 2-3 years now. So the checkups are all good and subnormal, everything. But then still on a continuous basis, my sacral chakra area, is always in pain. So there is no severe pain or extreme pain, but always in pain. Like, I am not at comfort at all. And also I have a fear.
Okay, from when do you have this?
You can say like 5 to 6 years, maybe
5
little
to
more.
6. Okay. You don't tell me your age?
43.
Okay. All right. And
Also,
yeah.
I have a fear of, dying, suffering and dying through some big illness. I have this fear always. And I think because of that fear only, I go and do the annual health checkups. Thankfully, nothing comes up. But then this continuous pain always keeps me in doubt. And I don't know what to do about it.
Okay. I see, more than one trauma that has happened to your back. One is that I can see you're falling from a height and you landed on your back. This was one of the lifetimes when you were you were playing or you were doing something, and I can't see whether you were pushed or you jumped, or I can only see you landing on your back. Okay. And you were still a girl, and there was another lifetime which shows that you actually terminated one of the pregnancies. Okay, so there is a womb related karmic issue also. Do you have any uterus related issues?
Thankfully, medically, nothing.
But you have a pain around that.
Pain around. Yeah, there is no swelling, no cyst, no nothing. But reports are all good. But still, there is, it feels like a burden.
Yeah. So this needs a lot of work from inside to forgive. The first one, injury, is much easier, but probably I still can't see whether you're getting pushed or you fell, because I can see you turning around and looking back angrily and with pain and all this stuff. So I'm not sure if there was someone behind you doing it. So there could still be a lot of anger issues left from that lifetime. The second thing that this just merged with, two of it showed together, that there was one pregnancy that was terminated, with a lot of it wasn't like an abortion, but it was termination. So these two things have affected your sacral chakra, so you need to work on it, and it needs some bit of working. I cannot right now give you all the remedies because it needs some bit of getting you to that space to understand how to work on it. So it would be better if we just need to also get a few more answers, because that's not coming up right now. Close record.
Okay. No worries. I'll speak to you in the consultation then.
You have booked, right? Have you booked?
Yeah, I did. So I'll ask for it.
So please remember these, because I'll forget the reading. So please remember to ask me so we can start continuation. And I'm just saying, whoever has booked a session, please let's access the record when we do it there, because let's give an opportunity to give an idea for the people who didn't book, want to know what it feels like, so that I mean, it's my request, but you can go ahead, Shilpa, you can decide. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Dr. Vijay.
Yeah.
So can we tell everybody what they can do, work with you, take a session with you and learn with you?
Yeah.
Shall
One
we
is like, yes.
Share the offers with them?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. And then we'll do the soul journey activity.
Yes.
All right. So thank you for mentioning. I'll just share my screen in the meanwhile. Thank you, Doctor, for actually mentioning that, those who have not booked should get an opportunity to get the reading done today.
Yeah.
And all right. We just are choosing people randomly. So we really don't know yet who has booked.
No, that's why I told the people who are in the question would know. I mean, it's anyway, you're taking a session. So
right, exactly. Okay, go ahead, Vijay.
Yeah, so you have a package A where we'll have an Akashic record reading session with me for 45 minutes in which you can ask up to 2 or 3 questions. And please take your time before you come to me. Think very specifically what are the questions that you want to ask. Randomly ask a question, which means, see, it's like sending me into a library with one whole lot of books. Even though it is indexed, if you just ask me randomly, I'll have to search through the index to figure out which one to pick it up. So just be mindful of what is it that you want to ask. Be very specific. So from in that session, I will give you, whatever remedies, again, your soul will tell me. One is forgiveness for sure. All of us have to ask forgiveness for God knows how many different karmic baggages we have. But if there is anything else very specific, I will tell you that. And if there is any remedies that from my end, of course, for karmic, clearance, I would be giving some remedies of my own. So you can follow that. If there is anything else specific come up, I'll be sharing it with you. And there will be no limitation in terms of how to help you clear your karmic issues. And anytime you want, you can always put in a message for clarification. You will get it. And then, of course, I'll do whoever accesses the record with me. I've always healed them, though I've never told them. This is the first time I'm telling them that, whoever accesses my record, I do healing 2-3 days for them, helping them clear their things. So I'm just letting you guys know that that's what I do. Yeah. So that's the package A, whoever is booked. And it would otherwise be 10,800 rupees or $167. But for this mystic offer would be 1,500 rupees at $24. Okay, and package B is remote healing, which I have a lot of clients who call me and say, please, I need healing. So I do healing for them. It starts with 7 days, 11, 21. I have people who take for longer, if they have some long time wish to happen and things like that. I have had people who have been with me for, 2 months, 6 months also. They continue taking and they see the change happening. Again, healing is done. It all depends on you receiving it, how you receive it, your mind. If you're going on, I want to say this is because I can't tell this individually. Whoever is taking my package B, please be in a receiving mode. Please be in a positive state. You can't be, even though I am sending healing, sometimes you are not receiving is because you're being very pessimistic or negative about whatever you are asking healing for. Just look for the small, tiny changes, celebrate on it and make it a big change. So even in 7 days, miracles can happen. So I use multiple modalities to do healing. That's package P. It's usually, 3,500, actually a lot more sometimes because people are ready to give, but I charge only 1,401 rupees or $23. Okay, so that's the package A and package B. One is for the reading and one is for the healing. You can either take one or you can take two, depending on how you feel comfortable. Okay. And the package C is the Akashic record workshop that I conduct. That's the first level where it is for your own self or your family. It is more than I'm saying accessing Akashic record. It is like a passport to start your journey, spiritual journey. And all your spiritual journey always starts with you. So if I have to start it with me, first I need to know myself. To know myself, I need to have access to all my information. So that is what is Akashic first workshop is, just open your doors for yourself. Give yourself the gift of knowing me, my records, your answers, more than anything else, connecting with that, energy and getting all your answers from time to time, which is not like, once in a year, once in 6 months, on an everyday basis, every hour basis, you can connect with your soul and ask your questions. And they're very generous, depending on your state of mind, they always give you your answer. Okay, so in this, I'll teach you what is Akashic record, where is it, how to access it, how to read the records, the different ways of accessing the record, how to bring back the information and, create your exact story, what it was, and understand like whatever I just did, I just got those images. But when you're doing it for yourself, when you have 2 or 3 questions, there will be a lot of connection. So you connect like those dots, how you connect into picture, how you connect it, how you understand your karmas and your karmic acts, how do you clear it, and all that entire journey, how to get into that space. So you should actually consider this more like a spiritual upliftment. You are going to lift yourself from one dimension to the other dimension just by learning it. So you have everything that comes with the package, including meditations, free revision classes. Every week we will have record access classes where, as a group, my earlier students, myself, we all sit together, access the record so that it becomes a practice. You also get to hear others who are doing it, how they are doing it, how differently they get it. Can I also sharpen that skill? So as a group, you will be able to learn a lot of things, and always accessible on Telegram group. I will share all the notes, call recordings. If again, call recordings, most of the time I don't do it is because like going on having a record, which means it's like holding a crutch and moving forward. You should be able to sit and do it. So somewhere I'll be teaching you how do you do it, but call recordings, whoever needs it would be done and given it to them. Okay, so that would be about 12 hours for 6 days. I'll have 2 hours of class, which will start on the 13th of December till the 18th. So the classes will be from 3 to 5. So the session usually costs 52,000 rupees. That's $803. But with Mystic, it will only be 9,000 rupees and $139. Okay, then is the package D. Okay, so there is a very small difference from package C to package D. Package C gives you that learning and how to do it, how to go forward and all this stuff. But at some point you feel like I have enough knowledge or the wisdom to share this learning with somebody else. That might take for some people in a week or a month or 1 year. It can be the time duration for you to sharpen your skill, and like a magic, it can happen. Then you will feel like, okay, I can teach, I can make this. Akashic is my core professional strength. I learned that only this year. Till that time I thought it's only for me. I used to keep only with family. I used to tell them, this, be careful, this is going to happen and all this stuff. Or I practiced my intuitive messages so well that I managed my life without collapsing. Otherwise, anybody in my place would be completely out. I have been standing tall. So that's what my self-learning has taught me. But the colleague came like, why don't you teach? A lot of people ask me, why don't you teach? So today I understand like this is my sole purpose, teach people how to shift dimensions, their soul journey, help them and all the stuff. So tomorrow you can do this. It can be in 1 week or one month, you never know. So when you do this, you also get attuned to that energy where you can start helping people learn, this art of connecting with themselves, not about connecting with anybody else. So that's the beauty. So this again will have all the same syllabus plus some wisdom on how to be a very good teacher, mentor, all those tips will be shared. And then I'll have all the bonuses like, the entire course content. Practice sessions will continue for everybody whenever they want or how much ever they want. We will start having, we already have sessions. We can continue having sessions. We'll all join groups together and do it. And you will have your PDF notes, of course, spiritual insight into a lot of things, which will keep coming. I really don't know what comes up when I sit in front to talk. So whatever comes just comes, and I keep imparting it with all my students. So, and of course, once you take it professionally, you have a problem with your client, you want a reading which is not sitting well, I can always guide you with that or help you access, or we can do it together and take it forward. Okay, so duration is 25 hours. You will have to spend a little longer working on yourself. Okay, so dates will be from 20th to 24th and again from 27th to 31st. So that will be your 25 hours, again 3 to 5:30. And
Vijay, I'd like to quickly ask here. We got a lot of questions where people have been asking, can we attend this later? Can we do level 1 now, level 2 later? Or can we book now or attend your later batches? All that is
Yes.
possible, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Please book for yourself. So whenever because only in January the next session will start. So as soon as the sessions are going to start, you can join. Yeah. Okay. So normally it would cost about 81,000 rupees, $1,051. And the Mystic price would be 13,500, which is $209, which is, I think we spend a lot of money on God knows what not, to doctors, to therapists, to hypnotherapists, God knows everyone we spend. This is one thing you are gifting yourself, that's what I'm saying. I went through such a huge financial problem, but you won't believe it. When I realized this is a gift I'm giving myself, I said, no, I have to do it. This is where if you start thinking like I'm ready to buy iPhone or Apple phone, spending 40,000-50,000 rupees, but here is my gate to wherever I want to journey at soul level, and I start thinking like, oh my God, should I spend that money? Then I really don't know what to say. Because you can't give a better gift to yourself than anything else that you can see and touch, isn't it? Yes, thank you. So you can become a trainer, and it includes all attunements. There will be a lot of rewriting records, how to cut cords for people, practically how to do it and how it helps. Because when you're doing it for yourself, it's very easy to do some, a lot of your own clearances and all the stuff. But when it was somebody else, then there is a lot of other process involved in terms of identifying when can we cut. And that's a little bit of, work. So all that comes in the teacher's level. And yeah, instead of me crying, why am I like this? Why am I like this? You're suddenly feeling like, oh, I know what to do, or why I'm like this. So the entire shift happens, here. Then of course you will get solution to all there's a lot of acceptance that happens. So the solutions comes very easy, and you can heal yourself. You can learn simple remedies. What happens is when you are here, you end up learning other modalities also, because you understand how it supports your soul journey. Okay, so here is the package C, which is for self, and the package D, which is for, also to become a professional. So the difference is very little. So you're the boss. Please choose.
Dr. Vijay, that was so exciting. Thank you for taking us through that once again.
Yeah.
I'll quickly raise a few workshop-related and offer-related questions.
Yeah.
Monu and Sangeeta had asked, and you have already mentioned this. If you could quickly just repeat this again, that can we ask questions about our future as well?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for that question, for both of Monu and
Sangeeta.
Sangeeta. Okay. I call my son Monu, by the way. Okay.
So sweet.
The minute I saw Monu, I was like, okay, my son is home, I remembered. Okay. So here is the thing. You will go back, access your record to understand what is causing your current life issues. So you are getting an insight into it, and you come here. And in that space, you're also asking, what is going to be my future? Okay. So here the soul understands you very well. Okay. That it is like a kid who goes to school, and the teacher knows that the kid this is the kid's caliber, or this is the baggages he's bringing in, and this is the ability of the kid, and going forward, this is what will happen, right? The teacher can predict. In the same way, your soul knows your journey, but your soul also knows you have a supreme energy connect, because of which you can change around your life, in a manner that, it can surprise yourself. So you have read your record, you have come to your current life, and you're relating all of it. The sincerity with which you'll work on yourself, the way you will start changing your thought patterns, you're in an acceptance mode, and you have become very cautious about your thought, feelings, emotions, and action. You're doing a change to your own self. The result, what you get in Akashic record will be, yeah, you will financially settle down, you will have a house and whatever. But depending on your karmic actions now, this future that you have seen in your Akashic record can be doubled 100 times. A lot of people just come, read, come back, and I have to do this, I'll do this, and I'm looking for the change right now for this. That will change, and that one's result also you can see. But you want to do something more, you'll have to go out. It's like a teacher saying, you take up extra tuition, sit for 2 hours, study, make an extra effort, and then everything will change. It will change. So you can also predict your future. Yes.
Nice. Vijay, we got 2 questions. You mentioned it already. I'm again bringing it up.
Yeah.
People are asking, when is your next batch? You keep having these batches, right? The Akashic Record.
Yeah,
workshop.
almost every 1.5 months, I'll have one.
Okay, all right, beautiful. One more question.
Yeah.
Ratna is asking, can anyone immediately be able to access records for themselves and others, or does it need some practice and time?
It depends. See, a person who is already a little spiritually inclined and asking, why me? Okay, I understand there could be something related to my, some people who are already in awareness state, it is very easy. Probably the first, second, or the third access they can get. Especially if it is for others, you need a little more. If it is my own soul, access I'm doing, there is a chance you will get an immediate indication or answers to your question. But if you're doing it for someone else, make sure, like I told yesterday, you need to work on yourself, identify your limitations, what makes you fearful, angry, frustrated, and all this stuff. You have to also, all these are deposited in each of our chakras, right? So your chakras needs to be aligned, cleansed, strengthened, that you can go in and pick up any information of anybody and come. But if I have a blockage, I obviously will not, that person has the same blockage. Either you will go in there and you will also end up bringing discomforts or that person's baggage with you, or that person's soul will say, okay, this person already has enough, you already have your baggage, so you cannot enter this space, because everybody's soul is a gatekeeper of that person's soul record. Only with permission you can go in, and that person's soul knows, are you allowed here or no? A lot of times, even me, when I'm trying to access a record, 9 out of 9, what? At least, yeah, if I say 30 records, 29 records I can access. That one record, I might not get an access at all, because their soul energy is protecting them so securely, like tight. So if you are not able to read, it's not your mistake. It is also could be, that person still hasn't reached that state or the wisdom to accept whatever you're giving. That also can be another reason. If that person is in a state to accept your reading, only then the soul will give the lessons to go back and give it to him. But if that person is not ready, you say, you access my record, but I don't care, nothing will change. Believe me, you will not get to see anything, because anyway, he is in a dosha state where he is not ready to change, right? So there could be multiple reasons why you can't access a person's record. But that doesn't mean that you start, doubting yourself. But you need to parallelly work on all your strengths and belief systems and value systems and blockages, or, whatever limitations you have or limiting beliefs. Start working on that. Will be the first step that I would be teaching who's joining my session. That's my first insight into what you need to work on so that you can become a proper Akashic record reader.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for sharing in such detail. So those are the questions for now. And I'd like to tell everybody that, Vijay, shall we do the exercise now? And so what I'll do is let everybody know that if you have any questions related to the sessions or workshops, you can put them on the group. Dr. Vijay is going to come back today. Also, she's going to be with us. And Dr. Vijay, can you take us through the exercise, and then will you let us know to end the call?
Yeah. Again, yes.
Can we leave
Again, one simple request. Right. Please don't ask just random questions. I have a relationship issue, Pinach. I will not be able to tell you. I'm just being very, very, very honest. I'm just being very open, because it's like not something that it is like you're telling me, can you just go into that huge library and get me answers? No, because it has to be very, very specific, like I said. So just be very mindful of what you're asking. And when I'm reading it, whatever comes, I'll definitely answer. Okay. If I don't get anything, that's when I'm like not answering, or, I'm just saying, please book a slot so that it can become more specific. All right. Okay. So I'll just give you an feel it is to go through a record reading. So I'll just take you through a meditative session. I'll do it quick. You don't need to, I'm not asking you to put a protection shield at all, because I'm going to put a protection shield for all of you so that you can go into this space, because, and it's again for your own self. Please have very specific question. Again, when you say, I want to know my soul purpose, please identify with whatever your strength is right now. Just don't go there and ask a soul purpose. Then your soul will say, you don't even know what you want to connect with. So, you will not be able to get all the answers. Okay. So be very specific what you want to, and if you're ready to know it, if it is time for you to know it, is when you'll get the answer. Just pick up whatever sensation you feel, whether it is in your chakra, if it is on your skin, or if you hear some sound, you use some colors, or you see some numbers. Take all of those messages and you can put it on the group. I will interpret whatever you have seen. If you don't see anything, don't feel bad, because probably you'll take a little more time to get to that space to get your soul messages. Okay, but you can just give it a try. Yeah. So all of you sit straight, keep your spine straight, so there is energy flow that's happening easily. Keep your eyes closed, completely relaxed. Okay. Take 3 rounds of deep inhale and blow out through your mouth. Take in energy and blow out all the negatives, tiredness, fatigue, or worries, whatever is there, just empty it all out. You can't go there with any of your baggages. So just 3 rounds of deep inhale through nose, and as long as possible. In the meantime, I will just put a protection shield for all of you. Around each and every people sitting. Tele Summit. Please protect all of you. Divinity. I activate the light healing frequency of protection shield around each and every person present in this Tele Summit. Please protect them from all negativities coming to them or coming from them, and take them to this channel, to their soul space. We get them answers. Okay. Slowly bring your attention to the center of your eyebrows. Become aware of your breath. Now slowly center yourself at the center of your eyebrows once again. Bring your attention there. Now imagine you are slowly lifting yourself up from wherever you're sitting. Just your conscious is just traveling upwards to the sky. Imagine you're just going like a feather all the way up into the sky. Just keep going up and up and up. Keep moving up. As you keep moving up, you will see that, there's nothing but pure blue sky and clouds around you. Beautiful, cushiony, white clouds around you. One big cloud that is right next to you. Why don't you just seat yourself on that cloud and allow that cloud to take you further up into the Akashic record space. Imagine this cloud is just taking you up beautifully, sliding you all the way up and bringing you in front of a library. And this whole library is again beautiful, snowy white. And there's a huge door there. I'll just evoke the Lords of Akashic record for you. Archangel Metatron, could you please repeat after me whatever I'm just saying so that you get permission to access your record? Archangel Metatron, could you please allow me to please state your name, full name, maiden name, if you're married already, and your date of birth. I would like to access my record. Could you please let me access my record? You have Archangel Metatron, who is also white with the beautiful feathers and smiley, loving face, welcoming you into the Akashic space. And he takes you into this beautiful library, which is completely white and pure white and lit white. Everything is beautiful, shiny, clean, pure, crystal, beautiful feeling of freshness. And now Archangel Metatron is handing you over your book. Now, here is a book in your hand, which has your name, your date of birth. Now, settle down wherever you're feeling comfortable in that space. Imagine there is a couch. Sit down on that couch. Open your book and ask, my highest self, the Lords of Akashic Record, the Supreme God, please give me answer to my question. Please state your question and ask for the answer. I give you 3 to 4 minutes to ask your question. Please ask your question. You can always ask any connecting questions to get more clarity. You may now get ready to close the book. Just close your records and say, I now close my record. My records are now closed. Now hand over the record to Archangel Metatron. Thank him. Thank you and gratitude for letting me access my record. With a lot of gratitude for the Lords and the angels and Lord Metatron, You can now come back out of the library and just walk up back to the beautiful cloud that's waiting for you. Sit yourself down and start your journey back into your space, your conscious space. Come back down. Once you move out of the Akasha space, you can let go of the cloud and slowly glide down back into your body. You are now back in your physical space where you're sitting. Become aware, settle into your own self completely. Now let's just disconnect if we have by any chance connected with any negative cords on this journey, back up and back to your space. Archangel Michael, could you please cut all negative cords that I may have connected on this journey to access my Akashic record and back? Please use the sword of light and disconnect all the cords connected to me. With a swish, imagine Archangel Michael is cutting all the cords that's connected to you. Now let's thank Archangel Michael for cutting all the negative cords. Let's thank the Supreme God and all the angels and yourself to going on this journey and back here. You may now slowly open your eyes. I only hope some of you have got some indications, some idea. I'm very happy if one or two of you can share. Deepti is all Anybody, one or two can share so that.
Absolutely, doctor. Shall I read out the responses?
Yes, please.
Nandini is saying she got her answers.
Oh,
Monu is saying
wonderful.
stars are coming up from my eyes.
Yeah, okay.
Somali saw a huge castle.
Okay.
And Santosh is saying you could feel a cold breeze around me during this session.
Yes.
Dipti saw a deer and a windmill. And
Okay.
people are still typing in, Doctor. I'm going to read some responses. Before that, can I ask a couple of questions if you don't mind?
Please, 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 please.
So somebody earlier asked, is it safe to access our own records? And secondly, is it safe to access others' records without their permission?
No. You should never venture into anybody's soul space without their permission. It is like stealing. It's like.
What about children, doctor?
Children, see, if a mother can come for a child's record access and the kid should be below 18 years, it should be a minor, and you are doing it for his higher good, not to see, is he going out with a girlfriend? Is he doing some things that are not right? No, don't access records for all of you. You should have a higher purpose for accessing your record. And is it safe to access my record? You're always connected with it. It's just that you're not having an idea about it, that I'm connected. I can seek answers. So Akashic reading, the first part of our package is all about that. Get connected and stay connected all the time so that you get your answers. You don't need to run to anybody for help.
Beautiful. One last question for now. Paramjit is asking, can we access the records even if we don't know the date of birth?
Yeah, at least have the place of birth.
All right.
Okay, with a lot of practice. For example, if Deepti is in front of me, there are times when I don't even need to know the name or the date of birth, but that needs a lot of practice, where you and like light workers like us are very, very clear that our intentions are very pure. We don't just look into anybody's space for any selfish purpose at all, because we have learned that it doesn't serve as any purpose, even if it is our own families. For example, I don't enter my husband's Akashic space, my son's Akashic space, my parent, nobody's Akashic space. Only when they give you permission, you access. So that intention of us is so clear. There are times when we, like, don't even have to connect with your date of birth and, all blah, blah, blah. You don't even require. It might just happen as we are talking. It can happen. There was a friend of mine, she called, she said, you know what, I have and you won't believe, her entire record just came down tumbling. I said, you know what, this is what I saw. It was so surprising that she didn't ask me to ask for a reading, but it just comes. Sometimes the soul says, please tell her. So that is how it works. It works with so much of purity. The intention is so, so, so important.
Wonderful, Vijay. I'll just read some more responses.
Yes.
And it's amazing, Vijay. I quickly want to ask you something,
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so Ratna is saying she had some vibrations in the sacral chakra.
Yes.
Somali saw that a huge jhalar is falling on her. Alicia saw a couple kissing and the man walks away. Preeti saw a baby girl. Veena saw a war field, arrow, and a flower. And there was a couple of people, Vijay, they couldn't see or feel anything.
Okay.
And Rachana saw a white swan on the white cloud. And she sat on it and went to the library. And
how beautiful.
And really, there are a lot of responses, Vijay. You can come back, you can see. I quickly want to ask for everyone, everybody is seeing such different things. Like,
yes,
they're all different dimensions. What does this mean? It's one thing everybody has experienced, but everybody is seeing such different visions.
Yes. See, visions that you're getting will definitely have some kind of a relevance to your life. Okay. For example, war. When it says war, it could be either in the current lifetime or in one of your past lifetimes. There's a lot of turbulence happening inside your head with different aspects or a single aspect. So identify what is it that you're fighting with. Okay. And if you can identify what I'm fighting with, find a resolution for that from within. Don't find a resolution from the other side. It's all about finding a resolution to that particular turbulence from within your own self. How important is it? What is, see, again, if I have to get into that, that's like an entire coaching session that I have to take in terms of identifying, what I need to wish for. Because that means the whole psychology will, psychology, psychiatry, everything I'll have to get in together to explain it to you, because that will be a long full day session for me to
absolutely
help.
Absolutely.
Yes, so you will have to look into your own self, what is causing you so much of turbulence inside you. So that is what that is, showing it to. If it is a bird or a butterfly, they are all some kind of spiritual indications, like, you're on a journey already towards this spiritual, or the soul connect, because they're all very divine, all the butterflies and birds and all those stuff. All the animals, especially, you don't see all random animals, but you only end up seeing those beautiful animals which give you very peaceful image. So that could be your soul purpose, start your journey, go forward. So those are all the indications. And what else did they see? Someone said they saw a couple kissing. Identify what is the depth of your own relationship, or it is giving you an indication from a past life where you might have done that and walked away, and that is why this lifetime there could be some rejection or disappointment happening. So it could be read into different, unless I speak to you, I will not understand how to relate that picture to you. So that's what I'm trying to say. So you can relate it to your own self, whatever you have seen.
This is mind-blowing, Vijay. This is surely mind-blowing. And seriously, it's wonderful to just work with you and have these conversations with you. I know we are past time.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, can I take on a few more questions?
Please. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Dipti asked, I think she was asking about reading. Earlier we asked if we can read without permission. So she's asking, what about parents who are no more? Can we access their records?
You can connect. Yes, okay, you can wonderful. Connect them. Like, one of my friend, her father-in-law passed away, and he was on ventilator the last 3 days, and he was trying to tell them, and he was like choking, and he died. And so she came and asked me, I don't know what he wanted to say. Can you please access his record and let me know what was he trying to say? But I'm telling you, when you are moving into those spaces, you need a lot of practice. Okay. Or you have to be really strong, because when I access that person's record, my throat went on that, whatever the tube, whatever they had inserted, that pain was so bad. I could feel his pain in the last days, whatever he was going through. For 3 days I had to work on it, cleanse it and all those stuff. He wanted to show that he has written down some accounts of receivables he has kept somewhere. That's what he wanted to say, and I think they actually found it. Yeah.
Wow. My God, thank you so much, Vijay, for sharing that. Really.
Thank you. Yeah.
And on the same lines, Dr. Amita has asked, can we know how a person has died and the cause of death? If that person has died at a far place and we don't know how he has died?
We can.
My God. Wow. All right.
But it depends on his soul if he is ready to show. Okay.
Yeah,
Again, everything depends on the soul's discretion on what it needs to show. If, for example, if this person is not ready to hear that, and if that soul knows, it will not show. So again, it's honestly, we are just the medium. We only bring you the messages, but it completely depends on the person who is asking and the soul energy that is showing.
Last question for this call, Vijay. Monica has asked, and this is actually a good question for everybody. Whoever accesses this call replay, can they do the meditation again and get the answers?
Yes.
Wow.
I will just put the Metatron and Archangel Michael's negativity cutoff. Those 2 prayers, I'll just put it there. Just be very mindful. Or anyway, it is there. You have to repeat it. And after coming back, if they feel any kind of an energy imbalance or a little discomfort, they can either have a salt bath or soak their feet in the salt bath. So all the negativities will go.
Wonderful, Doctor. This was really amazing. Thank you for another delightful call, and thank you for your time. I want to thank everybody for joining again.
Thank you.
Vijay, last words. Do you want to say anything before ending this call?
Yes. Yes, my last words would be, guys, all of you, live through a life which is very materialistic and always been focused of, buying this, doing things, or, changing your house decor and, painting your house, buying a new car. You've done everything to go through this physical life, This is the only gift that you can give for your soul. So just learn this art and, just start moving dimensions at that speed.
Lovely, Vijay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for trusting me and going on this journey with me. Thank you very much. And all the best to all of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All of you. Bye. All the best.